Hey, Crypto Sniper here to see if we can get another one out for you. How are you doing? How are you enjoying your alt season? Let's ask about that. How are you guys doing? How are you enjoying your alt season? Adjust the camera a wee bit. Yep, hope you're enjoying it. So Bitcoin, pretty dull, actually. We felt that he might have bottomed over there, and in fact he crept a little lower, but he's just not spilled, and he's done enough, and it looks like he could still be basing roughly where he is. And in the meantime, that's allowed us to position for a alt market. So what did we tell you about the alt market? We said it's coming, it's going to melt some of your faces, that it's going to be good. Some of you might not even be aware that it's happening and that it has been good. In which case you missed that we were first in Ethereum, pivoted into ADA and then into Solana, still holding blue pot versions of that, but we had leverage trades on them. By the way, ADA and Solana will go again. Then we said more recently in our videos that ETH is going to have a little bit of a surge. So that was the previous one, ADA and Alt. And you can see also this particular one, perpetual for VET, VET. We'll come back to that. VET that was highlighted there. Give us a like or give us a dislike, as these 16 people did, because they hate making money. They hate it that there's someone who actually gives them the calls potentially, and is often wrong possibly on instances, but that there would be an alt run and that you could make a lot of money, and actually gave you Freeview, the VET. So those 16 people, please reaffirm your dislikes for making money, because you must be from Bolshevik land, the Bolshevik communists that are all for you've been thrown off your property and being serfs. So there's got to be a few, haven't there? Anyway, enough chit chat and nonsense about all of that. So VT, other ones that we've been talking about that were premium and were not released to you at the same time were FTT, for example. So why don't we pop over and have a look at how that's been doing. So that's actually the exchange. Those of you that are regular watchers of this channel will know, in fact, that I think he is a little bit blessed in terms of the role he'll get to play overall, and that FTX as an exchange will be a very significant exchange. It feels to me, as I said before, that Binance is being stomped on, is being Bitfinexed, and very much similar way that Bitfinex was, and FTT is that new boy. Look at that baby go. Oh yes, yes, yes. And it is one of our regular blue pot holdings as well. You get staking. By the way, link below. Open an FTX account. That's the best platform. Purely, that's honest. Anything I put an affiliate link for, you can take it, I use it. App as given, otherwise I won't put my name to it. Doesn't matter how much they've earned. We get emails offering us Bitcoin for this, Bitcoin for that, soft interviews for NFT new launches and all sorts of things. If I don't know anything about it, I don't believe it's good, and I'm not doing it myself, I won't tell you about it. And I won't even take money to tell you about it. Anyway, that's it. So all our links I use. Bullion Vaults, pure gold, taking some of your profits out in the good times to have some metals is a very smart idea as well. Anyway, we're talking about alt season, so I'll try not digress too much with my usual scatterbrain tendencies. But yeah, you will be not too far from target on this one, and I'm expecting a bit of overperformance. That is an erectile projectile, my friends. Indeed, that is not little pippy stories. It's a nice move. By the way, we're accumulating it regularly in here. This is unbelievable risk rewards if you're early. If you're just watching it and discovering this now, obviously you're late. I would not advise chasing a pump. Nothing we do is advisory. We're talking about trading crypto and the things we're doing in our premium community retrospectively, but we've also given you a couple of things like Ethereum as a big major. I even suggested ETH is going to come back a little bit. It's been all the way of Solana and ADA, and that technically we were seeing a turn on ETH-BTC. How many times have we spoken to you about ETH-DOM, ETH-BTC when we were in the original part of the move where Ethereum was one of the biggest movers? Well, we said to you on the ETH-BTC, and in fact we discussed this in premium, we said that right there is going to be the first in a new trend, and we were biasing exceedingly long Ethereum there. You might not recognize where you are on that, but I can show you all happening on these little cluster of targets. Very, very interesting. This was your 2.5 year. By the way, this is Huobi, which is a bit eccentric in exchange. It's not one I have or use. I was just looking for clean charts of FBTC. You can see actually if you go to Binance that the target, the key level of significance, beautiful people, that's it, my magnificent little squirrels and devushkas, you were squeezing, squeezy, Japanesey, on that target of a 2.5 year inverted head and shoulder that I'm not going to show you because I've shown you a gazillion times, an absolute gazillion times on this time frame. Go up to your weekly charts for yourself or your monthly charts for yourself. I will squeeze in this little continuation pattern though, just so that you all know roughly where we are on the map, because you might not have the crazy image brain that I have. I seize images. I'm sure we all do. But I love cryptos and I love crypto trading, so they're all in my head. That is a major reassert of Ethereum against Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin's kind of a bit floundering. The money coming into Bitcoin is being rotated probably into the platform. So institutions are now realizing this is a platform game. And you can expect lots and lots and lots of interesting things coming. And this would be more like that. And that is a major reassertion. And when did that reassertion occur? It occurred on the squeeze over here. Yes, that's right. On other platforms. Let's have a wee peek. Which draws have I got here? I've got some clean ones, some empty charts. Let's go straight to the ETH DOM. The ETH DOM, we wipe the face quickly. So this is all a potential further. So I've got to have to go to the big time frame on the ETH DOM. We gave you this little fractal over here and said a 20% run will take place and it will actually go 20.27. That was literally the top. You then were in a channel non-stop of skating relative loss of value for ETH dominance. All the way down, all the way down. Solano eating its dinner. ADA eating its dinner, even underperforming against Bitcoin. I've just shown you the FBTC chart. So languishing Ethereum. Now he wants to do the big play, the big erectile projectile, and get some kitty cat attention there. And there she goes. Up, and away. Yes, go you good thing, he says. Moon rocket for Ethereum. In fact, I mentioned, and I said the best time to trade leverage tokens. As I've mentioned to my community, we go into a bit of a deeper dive. We'll use overperformance on it. But I've mentioned that most people are going to lose money on those tokens. But if you have an HVF structure on the bull token, you're going to probably do exceedingly well. So I mentioned the 3x ETH, and we were getting long. Give me the 3x ETH, please. Damn you, boy. What you doing? What you all doing there? Trying to muck me around some? Yep, so you had a beautiful setup structure on there. And what do you get? When you get consistent move, you actually get higher than the 3x on there. So you can see that we were getting in long there as we were doing it for Ethereum. In fact, one of the things we were showing, let's have a look, see if, will that be over there? Let's see if I can get the right one on the second screen. We were just talking about the key inflection point coming just before the main break. So you should have been getting long ETH over there. This is a chart that was shared inside premium area, by the way. Link is below. Go to themarketsniper.com. By the way, there is someone who is perpetually posting replies to all comments, probably with a bot that has my picture and has Crypto Sniper with a 0 instead of an O, and is doing WhatsApp and images of numbers. Anybody who posts images or numbers and say contact me, we will never post anything of that nature. You will be stolen from by an absolute criminal, and Google doesn't give a flying stuff. And no matter how many filters we do to stop that, to protect people, they make it through. They put images of numbers, all sorts of things. Anyway, back to the future. Here we are. This is a major accumulation zone. You could have been getting in at the 3-1s. Of course, you would have been getting into the ETH bull if you're aggressive like us. And in terms of that, that's been a very good move. Indeed, the ETH bull. FTX just running for that profit. I think it's literally going to potentially do some of my partial closes while I'm recording this. Isn't that awesome? So you should have got in here on your ETH bull around 1.6 and you would be at about 2.158. Look, it's better than a kick in a backside. Non-stop up. pretty nice for you, and there could be a little bit more in it. But the ones that we gave you, we're not going to revisit ADA. It's been resting for a while. It'll come back. And Sol as well, which was super strong, just real overperformance. That one's going to come into the, the magic circle of ADA, Binance, and even DOT is going to have to come up to catch those two up, but it'll probably get up to and surpass that. Another one that we've mentioned. What else did we mention for you? We said VET, so let's show you the charts on VET. VET perp, let's have a little look. That is what you got on the VET perp. Let's take it into the 4 hourly, reframe that for you. So nice little break. There's targets on that. I've got some alerts that were already triggered a while ago. Again, you could have been collecting down here on your VET on this early stage recovery, and it's not finished. It's got a little bit more, and it's done really nice. I actually took a bit of MEX on BitMEX, that is, on VET and on Ethereum. So those were nice structured setups. You can see the same formula. We were saying to you, countless alts are setting up. Countless alts are setting up, and lots of them aren't running. So the right alts are running, and there's a handful, and most people are like whack-a-mole. They want to be wherever the mole's head pops up, and then as soon as they're there, they're buying the top, and the mole pops up somewhere else. And what's actually happening is you have no method. You're just chasing FOMOing in and buying tops everywhere, and chasing out of ones that are about to go next, and some that are never going to particularly go, or going to do very, very little. While this Bitcoin window has been permissioned and it's not spilling, and it's largely holding its own, possibly setting up its own version of an HVF that could take it through the 52K. But in the meantime, it's allowing a lot of these runners and poppers to run. So we gave you VET. It was in the previous YouTubes. Are you watching? The reason you're not taking is because you're not a believer in HVF method. You haven't had the training. You haven't made that level of commitment. I'm telling you straight up, because it's what you need to hear. And you don't realize that you're going to get a couple of major windows like this. And once this market's mature, you aren't going to get percentages like this anymore. You have, at the moment, right now, the unique crossing of access to very high leverage. That will not remain, especially if too many sheeple are making money and buying their way out of freedom. You have access to leverage, high volatility, and an incredible method that you could learn that will give you the opportunity with a couple of key trading decisions to actually make substantial amounts. Do we really trade? We often get a couple of comments like, yeah, always after timing or saying things afterwards. I think we've done everything to prove that we don't after time, but we really trade as well. You can see some of these from the FTX. Perp is up 29. That's gone up a little higher. I took a screenshot. 64K on UNI, which I'll show you, and VET and Ethereum. Almost 100K there, because we've had that one a little longer. So, we really trade crypto, and we're interested in exploiting alt markets, and that's not all of them. I'm afraid I don't want to throw away everything that we're doing that are respected premium people who've invested their energy and time and want to grow, not just get news feed. It's about growing and learning HVF. This is a very fertile time. Sometimes we'll sit and we'll twiddle our thumbs. People don't understand that. In harvesting season, you've got to get out there and harvest. And then when it's growing and plowing season, all you get is dust and boredom. And that's how it works. That's the nature of feast and famine. And you got to properly exploit the feast and stock the larder for the period of famine. That's being smart. But you'll either hear me or you won't. You'll either do it or you won't, and it's all good. You'll have your experience that you will have, and only you control that. So UNI it was not what we'd call a classic HVF, but it was interesting enough for us. Because of the squeeze that it had on a falling wedge. So we took a little bit of that, capping descending grind line. Grab a call below. Book a time, talk to someone just like yourself if you really want to change and exploit this. I always laugh. It's penny wise, pound foolish time. The amounts that people could be making with just moderate starting amounts versus I don't want to spend any of my trading account. you're going to blow your trading account, all of it potentially, or you're going to not maximize it when you should be maximizing. Have you any idea of what you're leaving on the table? Sometimes, but that sounds pugnacious of me. I'm a little bit pugnacious at times, and what I see as logical and sensible isn't always the case for other people. So that's a quick little run by a couple of ones that I said I'd run by. So that was UNI. There are others, and we've got targets. You can find out the targets when you come on. You'll see the setups. This is an alt run, friends. This is about the alt run. Total 2, squeezing higher. Some will say rising wedge, and you'll be right, and it can still go higher still. Because we have targets outstanding on them. It does also matter what our Bitcoin God will do if he fell hard and went really ugly. But at the meantime, he's doing exactly what we expected him to do. That means he's consistently respecting the 47.5 neckline, which we warned you long before we got to 47.5. We told you about the bottom. We said at the bottom, the next major key level of significance. I don't have to find the YouTubes. I know what I said. You can go look for them if you think we didn't say it. This 47.5, most people haven't even acknowledged this value yet. I don't see anybody talking about this value. This was your head and shoulder, friends, that occurred. This was it. And it's been a line on this chart long before we even got there. Bang. 47.5 and 50k, biggest logical round number and the most significant key level of significance. Also an important number was 44. From down here, when we were saying it's an accumulate along the lows. Your target was 30k. It's an accumulate along the lows. Up she goes. Your biggest level of significance. And what's happening? You bump into it, you pull back. I've covered this before. You hit the 50, you pull back. You're trapped in a stall box behind here. You're kind of heavy. There's quite a bit of distribution gone there. This can still turn and spill to the downside. There was a slowing in this overall. We're not saying Bitcoin can only go up, but if it does drift up and give us a little third impulse, we could also get a proper break of the 50k. But while it's just masturbating over there, it allows, providing it's not plunging, it's permissioning the alt run. Maybe the alt run gets stopped and targets and this all rolls over. Either can happen. My contingency is not that Bitcoin has to be awesome. It just has to not be terrible for the alt run to continue. But you've got to watch it, because if it turns and rolls, it'll be ugly as sin and you'll need to jump out. That said, Ethereum has shown a lot of relative strength. This looks like a clear basing period. It doesn't terrify me. Flat bottom. We do still think that people are underpricing this event for the 52k run. And you'll have a 5.2 and a few hundreds. I think we'll be around 52 and a half. But the greatest trade is not in it. This is the direction, God, but the trades are elsewhere. The higher beta, well set up, relative strength is. And we do give Hex a shout out, regardless what you think of how much is owned and how much. ETH had a 70% pre-mine. God knows, even Bitcoin was largely entirely our friend and fairy tale head. But this is made target 25 cents, man. I got, I think my cheapest Hex purchase of any meaningful amount. I put like 18 grand after chatting to Richard at some point, I can't remember, and it was just caught the last bonus and then it spilled. And then I saw an HVF, the very, very first HVF on Hex. And I said, you know what? This thing's going to go up technically. Never mind what people say. This thing technically is going to go up. And in the money flow, I trust. And that was down here. And I bought for sub a 7/10 of a cent. I got some fills at 6.9 down here, waiting for this break. And I have held Hex ever since. But I did take some off the table at a couple of these targets. And I'm like almost regretting it. No, not entirely. We used that funds very, very well. and our trading is going amazing, but this has done really, really well. And we bought back in during this period over the last few days and again on there. And look what it keeps on doing. It's beautiful. 4 HVFs in a row, my friends, made 4 in a row. Boom, 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 boom. HVF 1, HVF 2, HVF 3, a scrabby one here, and it's all at home. 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row. People asked, what's your hit rate? Well, it depends. If you've got something that's being mass accumulated and moving fast, you can get 4 in a row. We got 7 Turkish lira trades in a row over the course of 3 years. Why? Because it was one way, and you got HVF after HVF. It's beautiful. Learn the method. Find out how and why. So there you go. You've seen UNI, you've seen Ethereum, you've seen VET. There's many more that are of interesting. And they were here on this channel. You were told them, just like you were told Solana and ADA. It is a bull season. We kept you bull. We tried to keep you focused bull. We said, don't be afraid. Don't be scared out of this thing. Sentiment was 10. Sentiment was 10 at the final dip. It was 6 weeks ago. It was 10. It was down there at this point in Bitcoin's history. Let's get it back up. It was absolute lows as it was down here. It was 10. Now you're back up. Yes, it's a little peaky, but you can keep squeezing out little higher itchy moves. So it doesn't mean it's about now to go down. It is a tiny bit tired. I'm not going to tell you Bitcoin there, but you could have expected that to go down. It dipped out. And it just pushed marginally higher. It only has to give us another marginal higher call and play footsie with a 50k a little bit longer. As I say, this is not a Bitcoin trade. This is Bitcoin. Can you just keep the plate spinning whilst we knock these other ones out? That's the trick with altcoin trading. Understanding who determines direction, then who's going to score you the points. It's a bit like rugby. The forwards win you the game, and the backs determined by how much, what the point score. But how much is the money? You don't want to win and win $1. You want to win. So we need Bitcoin to determine the chance if we're going to win, and in terms of direction for being long. And then you need your best alts, and we've given you many of them on here. Hope you're enjoying the updates. Hope you're enjoying the altcoin. Remember, this turns south, and then everything needs clearing up. Everything needs closing down, especially leverage tokens, which could fall quickly. However, there has been quite a bit of semi-short-term independent strength from the likes of Ethereum. And we do a lot of cross-market analysis, as you can see. This is pretty firm. So Bitcoin would have to fall pretty ugly to completely put the brakes on it. It's shown quite a bit of independent strength during this period over here. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Our currency is likes and shares. That's all we ask. We put no ads on this channel. By the way, links are below. Free view. If you have no money, grab the mini series. It's all good. We want to help you grow. Go on. Get what you can from the free information. Follow the YouTube channel. Follow the Crypto Sniper. And then book a call. Talk to someone just like you from all over the world. Yep, indeed. And it's also not what you make. It's what you keep. We do clear, reset, sniper structures. Don't forget about this fact. If you're making money, the minute you've got more than 100 grand in crypto, you should already be thinking about crypto structures. And by the way, it's not after you become multi-millionaire that you should be worrying about it. It's a bigger problem. If there's a chance you're going to make it happen, it's worth your while. And by the way, compared to what other people are charging, our partners are amazing and are very affordable as well. Literally, I would say 10%, 15%. You can do quite a lot on in and around the 7 grand and sub. So in terms of permanent protection, legitimate, legal, permanent protection for your capital gains, tax, income, etc., 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 to an unbelievable level. Don't sit there and pay the government. Please, guys, it's going into debt. It's going into their wars that they'll then be donating them, the helicopters and the guns that you paid for, to the bloody Taliban to fanny around with. It'll pay for dogs to be left in cages that served with troops, all sorts of vile things, no good. Government is the worst spender of money. It's the most corrupted spender of money. It is a transfer mechanism of your wealth, work, and effort into an oligarchical monopoly that consists of big pharma, military-industrial complex, the banking cartel, and the tech complex. And those four control mechanisms that run the media, the fifth lapdog, which is all Hollywood movies, TVs, all of it, those five people are a big, fat, engorged tick that sit on your jugular pipe and suck the blood out of till you feel faint in the brain. And I'm here to tell you, you don't need that tick. Try walk free. Try keep more of your own bread and work. This is real help to help you build real wealth in this crypto goddamn environment, and you can get around these bastards legally because they all get around it. Go look at Google's tax structure for paying next to no tax, from double Dutch, Ireland, and all the way to the Bahamas. All goddamn legal. Go look at what Apple pays for its UK sales in tax. Less than a fraction of 1% of gross sales. These guys are exploiters, and it's all legal. They even push and get the laws written. They pay for lobbyists to get the laws written. The same FDA guy that's chairman of the FDA is later a board director on the Pfizer board. Let me tell you, this is a captured cartel of utter corruption. It's your time to do something for your goddamn self and not feel guilty for wanting to keep your hard earned. Get out there, make some goddamn money, and frickin' keep it. Build your freedom. The parasites are coming. They're big, fat, and heavy, and they've got all sorts of needlecraft they want to peddle in your direction. Bye for now, Crypto Sniper.